Well, hello again, Capricorn. Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au with your November 2016 reading. And this month really is somewhat of a winning month for you. And I say that because the month is ushered in with a new moon, which takes place in your 11th house, which is the sign of Scorpio. And the 11th house has a lot to do with not just friends and all that networking stuff, but it's got to do with your cherished desires, your dreams, what it is you really want to achieve in life. And the new moon usually shows an opening out there, an ability to achieve what it is that you want. Apart from it being a material fulfillment, it has to do with one's own inner self, of course, because the moon has to do with one's mind, one's emotions, and this can, of course, take many different forms. But if we look at the 11th house being friendships, for example, we see that this is one area that may manifest for you right now. Feeling confident, feeling assured and supported in your most personal relationships is most certainly on the cards. And naturally too, having Mercury in this area shows your communication can really start to pick up in terms of the people that you associate with. So this is all really, really good stuff, and it starts the month off in a very, very big way. You need that right now because we've talked for many, many months about the fact that your ruling planet, Saturn, has been transiting that very, very difficult 12th house, which is a place of self-appraisal. It's a place where some Capricorns are ready to throw the towel in. It can be a signal that you've been putting in a lot of effort and not exactly getting back the results that you've wanted. So the new moon, I think, counteracts a lot of that. And also you've had Venus transiting this 12th house. So the 12th house has to do with retrospective thoughts. Venus is the planet of love. It is your best planet, actually. Being in the 12th house submerges a lot of the benefits that you can get from this planet. It's not that you can't have benefits, but they're more sort of inward or spiritually orientated. Pardon me. That planet actually, Venus, will move out of the 12th house on the 12th, and that precedes the full moon that takes place on the 14th. So leading up to the middle of the month is also rather significant because the full moon is going to take place in your 5th house of love affairs, 5th house of future karma, and the moon really is the best possible placement in Taurus. So the moon is ruling your 7th house of marriage, significant partnerships, moving in the 5th house of love, creativity. And so what this also means is that, we talked about fulfillment in some areas, or what are the areas. This to me appears in the second half of the month to be an area that can be very, very fulfilling. The 5th house is creativity, the 7th house is relationships. So I see you becoming a lot more creative in the way you extract that happiness that you want out of the relationship. Mind you, I said out of the relationship, not out of the other person. And that again is the mistake a lot of people make, thinking that they're going to squeeze blood out of a stone. They're going to somehow manipulate the other person to be exactly the way they want them to be. Well, that's not really what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about here is extracting out of the relationship. So that necessarily means a two-way street. Bringing into the relationship what you think is going to trigger the best in the other person, and in that way, both of you extracting the best out of the relationship that you're in. The 5th house is also much to do with children. If you are a parent, we see, especially with the moon, which is the natural significator of motherhood and, the 28-day cycle, This to me is indicating a really great connection, if not a reconnection, because the new moon, which is the beginnings, at the beginning of the month, casts its influence on this fifth house. Then the moon swings around 14 days later into its fullness, into this area of your horoscope. So, you know, moon in Taurus is very mothering, very loving, and it doesn't mean just because you're a bloke, a guy listening to this, that you're not going to have those parenting instincts. This can actually indicate a much better time for you, where you understand not just up here, but here in the heart area, just exactly what it is you need to do to really help those relationships with your children, with the younger people, blossom. That has a lot to do with what I've talked about to some of the other signs here this month, that connection with your inner child. Once you, well, maybe to connect with the inner child, you just need to connect with your child. You know, I've got a 4-year-old, and I find getting down playing with Lego, of all things, brings me into that space of the now. And kids just love that. You don't have to do much more other than give them time for them to really open out to you and give you that sweetness and that love that you're looking for. And you don't need to do anything really. You just need to be with them and to be in the moment with them and give them time. And so that's another area of great satisfaction, great acquisition, if I could use that term, acquisition, because what is it you're getting? You're actually giving. And so in all your relationships this month, it's the giving that's going to result in the receiving. Now, Venus does a wonderful thing this month. It actually, also around that time, let me have a look here, I think it's around the 9th. I should really be wearing my glasses, but I'm just trying to prove to myself that I can read without my glasses. There it is, there on the 12th. I may have already mentioned that. The 12th, it moves into your sun sign. So that makes you far more attractive, far more confident in your personal presentation. So you can expect after this period, mark my words, you're going to have that magnetic appeal, not just for the purpose of attracting the opposite sex. I'm talking about that appeal that just makes you popular and gives other people the sense that they want to be with you, they want to do business with you, they just want to hang out with you. So all round, this is a really, really nice transit that you can look forward to, along with that full moon in the second half of the month. So I hope you'll join me again next month for the continuing soap opera of Sun Sign Capricorn. I'm enjoying directing it. Here, same time, the first of every month. And in the meantime, don't forget to take a look at astrology.com.au. You know, I'm available there if you want a more personal one-on-one reading. More than happy to get into that with you and share with you some of the secrets of your life, where it is, where it's going, and how you can perhaps improve it. Till next month, take care now. Bye-bye.